Hello everyone, it's the 30th of September, Jake's at school. This is just an ad hoc video. I've just come down to the hive, and September, the last few weeks, the weather hasn't been bad. There's been a bit of foraging, the bees have been able to come and go, but there hasn't been much activity. And I've just come down the garden and all of a sudden here there's quite a lot of activity. And what I think is happening is this is just young bees orientating. My understanding is that when young bees are hatched, they don't orientate immediately. They kind of wait and a group of them do it together. So I think that's what's happening here. There's quite a few young bees just spiraling around the hive and getting used to the position. I think that's what's happening. It's good to see a lot of bees though, and as you can see, myself and Jake, we haven't bedded them down for the winter yet, but we've started our preparations. We've put a removable skirting around the bottom, so you can see underneath the landing board there's a skirting all the way around, and then we've put a wooden casing over the top. So we just quite enjoy messing around doing that kind of thing. So we've put that, we're going to have that over for the winter. And at the moment we're leaning towards leaving the varroa floor out and leaving the bottom open. The thinking is that bees can cope with the cold a lot better than they can cope with damp. So we don't want condensation in the building at the top of the hive. So we think if we leave the floor open and we've got this skirting below it, so that will help prevent gusts of wind going up into the hive. The mesh floor is about 9 inches above the bottom of that skirting that you can see by the landing board. So that's the way we're looking at the moment. We'll do another video on the preparations for winter and the insulation underneath the roof, but at the moment we're hoping that the colony is building up nicely. We're not feeding them too much because we don't want them to fill all the cells with sugar syrup at the expense of space for the queen to lay. But coming into October we will be getting some sugar syrup in there, because I think the weather is due to get a bit wet over the next week. This is Ireland, so it doesn't get mega cold, but it can certainly get very damp and a bit windy for prolonged periods. So the damp is our main concern. And to help cope with the damp, underneath the hive at the bottom is a clear space with no grass or plants or anything, just a nice clean area. The white there is salt. We'll just put some salt in there just to kill the weeds and get rid of a bit of grass, just to make sure nothing grows there that will add to the moisture under the hive. These young bees now are called winter bees, and these they'll spend most of the winter in a cluster, keeping the hive warm and around the queen. And whereas in the summer worker bees live for not very long at all, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even less, these winter bees will live about six months. So these will be going all the way up until next March, when the queen starts laying again. Really well for building the numbers in the spring. So these bees have 6 months and a full winter ahead of them, and good to see them. So that's it, just an ad hoc one. Good to see some young bees getting to know the area. We'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.